Friends too.
All right. Boy, that seemed to work, man. It looks like we're live on all the Facebooks except, but not YouTube. I don't know what happened there, but fuck YouTube. Fuckers. So we've got Carrie Parsons from Dark Remedy on tonight. All right. Yeah.
What's going on, dudes? Glad to be back.
I'm so glad you came back, man, because you guys are on fire. Absolute fire and just tearing it up. So tell me everything that you got going on.
Dude, we've been busy, man. We've been in the studio for the past couple months banging them out. We just finished up 2 more. They're going to be the next singles coming out. We're working on getting the music video set up for them. Going to go shoot some video, and yeah, man, dude, we've been busy.
That's awesome. So you guys have taken the strategy of releasing the singles and not like a full album at one time, or is that something you guys have thought about?
Yeah, I think we'd like to eventually release an album, but at this stage, it doesn't really make sense for us to do it. From a financial aspect, it costs enough to do singles as is,
right?
And we seem to get more bang out of the singles, and pretty much. Like right now, we're pushing our brand new single "Guilty as Charged," and kind of how the behind the scenes of that works is when that thing's off to the races, we're back in the studio working on the next one. So it's a constant thing, and I think we benefit from it in a way because it keeps us real sharp on our songwriting. Like I know. We're not going to come on here and say that we don't believe the single we're pushing right now is the best thing we've ever done, because it is. It's Guilty as Charged. We think it's the best thing we've done so far, but our goal is always to up the ante.
Absolutely.
And I can tell you these 2 tracks we just finished up, I've been spinning them nonstop, which for me, when I write, we spend hundreds and hundreds of hours from pre-production to writing to production and, getting them out, that a lot of times when the song comes out, I'm sick of it at that point because I've heard it 50 million times, but these songs, man, I'm just, they're something. There's something else. I feel like we're firing on all cylinders right now. And, the past 4 years of work is all kind of starting to come together and starting to pay off for us a little bit.
I absolutely love that. So you're a fairly new band. You came around about the COVID time. Lots of good music came out of COVID, boy. I'll tell you what. So how did you guys get together? How did you meet each other? And how did you finally, it was like, hey, I dig what you're doing.
Yeah. So Stephen Miller, the singer, and I mean, we've been homies for probably 10 years. He produced my other band that I was in, and we worked real well together. creatively, we were always on the same page with everything. And, you know, we were kind of the two guys that were always like, let's go, rah, rah, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And when COVID hit, probably back in at the end of 2019, we started talking about like, we should eventually do something together. We had sort of talked about it before. And then here comes COVID, which you know, my other band, we were trying to go tour and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That got killed. So, you know, it's like one of those things of let's make the best of a bad situation. So we decided to be productive. Here's our opportunity. He, you know, he's free, I'm free. Let's write, and that's kind of how it started. We were just sort of treating it like a passion project up until 2022, I guess. We brought in Paul Crosby. We decided, you know, we were sort of just making music for our existing fan base from like other bands and stuff and our friends.
Yeah.
And everybody was kind of like, you guys are really on to something here. You should do something. And you're like, yeah, you know, well, whatever. But you know, we started getting like just gelling better and better with the writing. And Steven sent me over something he'd been working on called We Are the Dead, which actually came out earlier this year. Took a while to get that one out. And I was like, oh man, dude, we really should do something. So we reached out to Paul. We sent him over a couple tracks, got on a phone call with him, and kind of we were off to the races at that point. Started
So
off.
did you know Paul?
No, so I knew a band that he was managing, and I reached out to them, and I was like, "Yo, how is Paul doing?" They had nothing but good things to say about him. So,
Really cool.
Yeah, I just kind of knew that we needed a little extra help, you know, so that we could focus on the creative and let somebody kind of guide us through breaking into the industry. And you know, Paul was the guy to do it. It started off
He's definitely
management. Yeah, it started off as a management deal, and you know, he was like, "What are you guys doing for drums?" And we had used a couple like session drummers, and then we'd program some stuff. So we're like, we really don't have a permanent drummer. And he was like, "Well, I want to be the guy." So, you know,
wow,
who's gonna say no to that? I mean, Paul's a monster of a drummer. So,
absolutely.
So there was no actual audition, is what you're telling me.
I don't think one's needed for that guy. So his resume speaks for itself.
There is a chance I will sing for Skid Row next. That's all I'm saying.
No, there's not. Why? Why do you think this is a thing, John?
Well, there's more a chance of that happening than Sebastian singing for them again.
No. I will say, I did go see Sebastian just 2 weeks ago, I think, and he sounds really fucking good. But in the back of my mind, I was kind of like, man, it'd be awesome if Lizzie Hale would just walk out on stage.
Yeah.
But
Sebastian's on fire right now. His new stuff is pretty good.
Yeah, and I've seen him like it was one of the first concerts I ever went to, and he was 19 years old, and I was like, holy shit, this guy is on fire. And I would put this last performance up there. He is really caring about how he sounds, how he didn't come off arrogant to me at all, and he was like waving at people in the audience, hey, you, and I was like, I don't think I've ever seen him like this. But it was really refreshing to see, and he kind of won me back over again. But
yeah,
I don't know.
I want to apologize now because I just sent us off on a tangent. I am guilty as charged.
Well, speaking of,
let's get back on track.
Like guilty as charged track.
I think so. That's a good track.
All right. Okay. Let's check out Guilty as Charged by Dark Remedy.
guilty as charged. I am not the norm. I don't conform. I won't put all my faith in nothing. Who are you to say that I should change? Save your words, 'cause I'm not listening. With the world against me, can't find my place. I feel so filthy from my mistakes. If it's a crime for being mean, then lock me up and throw away the key. I'm guilty as charged.
Yes, yes, sir. I could see how that is taking off. You guys have nearly 45,000 streams on that song alone on Spotify. That's the only platform I looked on. So it's got YouTube Music and Apple and all that stuff. So 45,000 in less than a month. You guys, you released that on the 14th of last month, correct?
Correct. Yeah. Yeah, it's also doing really well on Pandora right now too. We landed an editorial on Pandora with it. It's the performance of it right now is huge for us. As a kind of emerging band, it's that we're tickled pink. I mean, we watch the numbers every day, and
Yeah,
we're like, oh,
absolutely.
it's going.
Is there plans? I know that you've got a couple shows listed on your website upcoming, but do you guys have plans of like touring to back up your new releases and stuff too?
Well, if we have shows announced, that's news to me.
Yeah,
But
you say that, but I could have been looking at the wrong thing. It might have been the Lines of Loyalty that I remember looking at. They
yeah, we actually haven't played live yet. We took the strategy of let's cultivate a following before we just go out there blind. And we think it's working out. That's the number one question that always gets asked from everybody. When do we finally get to see Dark Remedy live? And there's been a whole lot of discussions about that over the past week. That is, after we get video shot for these next singles, that's the next thing we're tackling, is going into some rehearsals, getting some shows, and tour is definitely something we want to do. I mean, all of us in the band, we're road dogs, like I've always thought that I'm better live than in a music video or on a recording. I just feed off of that energy, you know what I mean? And we've got a bunch of pent up energy, like just from 4 years of we haven't been able to get out there and connect with everybody, and that's what we live for. We want to get out there, we want to rock out with everybody, and then go sit at the merch booth and shake every single person's hand on the way out and thank them for all the support.
Is there
cool.
Is there any bands that you would dream to go tour with, like for your first tour with this band?
I mean, are we talking realistic, or are we talking I just say
Both.
whatever?
Both, absolutely. Realistic first.
Realistically, we're pretty close with the Kingdom Collapse guys. We actually co-wrote Guilty as Charged with Jonathan Norris, the singer of Kingdom Collapse.
I've been trying to get them. I was like, dang it, I want the Kingdom Collapse.
I have to put a little bug in his ear.
Dude,
but,
I'm telling you, yeah.
Yeah, so he produced Guilty as Charged too, and then the other two singles we did, we work very closely with him. So I just think it would be real cool if the stars aligned to have Dark Remedy and Kingdom Collapse out together.
That sounds amazing. That really does.
I promise you, if that happens, that is going to be a tour you don't want to miss.
Holy
because
shit, yeah.
when you get two bands that are that close with each other, where we're all homies, it's it's always from past experience. It's just a positive tour,
Right.
and everybody's having a good time, and that energy translates to the crowd.
That would be
So
awesome.
we went with realism. Let's go with like I won't say fantasy land, but like the dream out there.
The dream would be direct support from Metallica before they hang it up.
Sweet. Yeah.
They're in terms of bands that are still doing something, they would be my personal biggest influence, you know. So
Have you happened to see them on their with their new stage here lately, or have?
I haven't seen this one. The last time I saw him was on the I believe the Hardwired tour.
Gotcha. I just want to see what that is really like. I mean, it's humongous. It's just like
Yeah.
over the top. I think it would be mind blowing.
I mean, the Hardwired stage I thought was the biggest stage I'd ever seen at that point, but this
Yeah.
one's even bigger than that because it's, you know, it goes out and
Yeah.
like a circle.
That's I kind of feel like the Death Magnetic. That was the last time I saw them was like that too. They were in the middle of the floor as opposed to like an end stage,
Yeah.
and it was a pretty cool setup. And then like Lars rotated around the stage like his drummers, whatever. I don't remember, but he faced every direction, so he didn't
Yep.
back to somebody the whole time. It was a pretty cool deal that they did.
Yeah, those in the round kind of setups have always been a favorite of mine. There's no
Yeah.
bad seat in the house.
Exactly. They started that. Def Leppard really kind of brought that out, didn't they? And then Tommy's like, I want to sing to and play to the guy at the nosebleed seats, and I'm taking a fucking roller coaster out there. It's like that's really cool that people are really thinking about that there's not a bad seat in the house, and that's really cool because I mean it takes a lot to get out anymore. I mean, it takes, you got babysitters, you got fucking work tomorrow, you've got, you know, not even mentioning the money or anything like that, but a lot goes into going out to a show, especially when all you got to do is pull up YouTube, and you know it'd be so easy to go, yeah, no, I'll just watch it on here.
It's not the same. It's
No,
it's not.
Same.
No,
live
it's
show
not.
is such a better experience overall in life. That's just live music is chills. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
especially it's hard enough for, you know, smaller up and coming bands right now to get anywhere, you know, especially financially. It's an uphill battle that you know, a lot of people, like you said, prefer to sit at home and watch YouTube.
Yeah.
They're missing out. They're
Yeah.
missing out, you know.
I agree, and I think the whole climate's changed since COVID. I mean, there's so many people working from home. They don't even have to go to work anymore. You know, drive to work and go to an office. They just do it at home. I think a lot of people's minds have just kind of changed, and I don't know if I know I haven't changed. I like to go to live music, but the ones that were kind of on the fence, it's kind of like, I could take it or leave it. Now they're leaving it, and it kind of sucks. I wish we could just regenerate this whole thing and get everybody excited again.
I think it will come back around. I you know, we've seen this kind of stuff happen in you know, previous years. It seems like it's cyclical, you know. People go through little fads or trends with something, but you never replace that live feeling. You never replace the magic of being there and witnessing something. So I think it's going to come back. But right now, you know, I mean, ticket prices are crazy. People are having trouble buying groceries, and you know, you'll see some of these bigger legacy acts, and they're charging, you know, like $300 to be up in the nosebleeds.
Yeah.
I actually saw tonight, right down the street from me in Orlando, Def Leppard is there. And for shits and giggles, I pulled up the Ticketmaster to look at what the prices were, because I'm like, oh God, I bet that's expensive. Let me see. I was surprised. I don't know if Def Leppard's got something going on, but they were very reasonable. There was a bunch of sections for like $25.
What?
Not terrible seats either.
Really?
Yeah, like 2 days ago I looked. $25 if you wanted to be. I think I saw they had a third row ticket for sale for like $300, which I thought was reasonable
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely.
for a band of that magnitude.
Yeah. Wow. Well, that's what we need right now, anyway. I mean, we
That's what
really
it's
do.
gonna take. It's gonna take bands like that saying, you know what, fuck this bullshit.
Yeah.
We're not gonna charge $1,000 a ticket because I mean, frankly, if it fucking pisses me off when I see it, I'm like, how much more do you need, guys? You know, like
Right.
Right.
And then you got Ticketmaster tacking on all their shit, but
It's like one of
that's
my
a whole different thing.
That's just like one of my favorite bands that we spoke about before the show and their ticket prices towards the end that I was like, no.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
I-
that's
I
one
kinda-
thing I don't ever want anybody to be able to say that about Dark Remedy. I'm big on, you know, if you're gonna spend your hard-earned money to see us, like we need to make it worth it, and we need to make it accessible to everybody. You know, we'll never go down that path. I can promise you that.
I love to hear that.
Yeah, no shit.
I want to make a very important statement. Dark Remedy's website is scrolling across the bottom of the screen in the little green banner. So if you want to go find their stuff, go there, look for it. Go to Spotify, go to YouTube, to their pages. Hit that like, subscribe buttons, help the band out. Those things do help them. And Randy's on top of this.
Yeah, yeah. See, I can do this. I can do this. and I thought this was really cool. You guys do have a Facebook group, called Dark Remedy Asylum, and sounds like a lot of cool things are going on over there. Is that something you guys did, or did some fans set that up?
A close friend of the band was like, why don't we set this thing up? Because I think it started because there was a bunch of shenanigans happening on the Facebook, and I was like, hey guys, can we knock the fuckery down a little? Like everybody's seeing this shit. And I think somebody was like, why don't we just make a group and all these crazy motherfuckers can go in there and, you know, do whatever. I got, since this is uncensored, I got to tell a story. Dom is our admin of that. Dom, if you're listening, I'm sorry. The very first day we set that fucking group up, Dom apparently invited his grandma. Why you would invite your grandma into something called the asylum, I don't know. But his fucking grandma turns out to be a legend. She goes in there and she's like, let me tell everybody here, I am Dom's grandma, and I want to tell you a story of when Dom was a little child and I caught him banging a couch in the living room in the middle of the night.
Awesome.
I'm like, grandma is a legend. Legend. Some of the funniest shit I've ever read. So yeah, join the asylum. It can get a little wild in there, but that's how we like it.
That's really cool. And of course, you've got all of your recent releases on here, which is really cool, and how to get it. Let's see, yeah. And of course, no tour dates.
Not yet.
Yeah,
They're
that's
coming.
really cool. Gosh, the Kingdom Collapse would be so cool. That's so awesome.
I love how
thinking about that now.
I love how the fan page is named after a Kiss album as well.
That wasn't intentional. We were just like, how do we find a way to say Funny Farm maybe a little bit nicer?
I had to get that in. That's all.
John, are you not going to cue it?
Sorry, I didn't have it pulled
There
up.
you go.
If you remember, at some point, Kiss always comes up and in the show, and so we had to have, anytime somebody mentions it, boom, have Kiss at the ready.
Yeah, we're gonna get some extra little video clips of that because
I think I told you last time I'm a diehard Kiss fan, so
Yeah.
you're not hurting my feelings.
So how do you think these Avatar things are gonna work? I don't
Fucking awful.
Yeah, well,
Thank you
don't
for
know
that
what.
statement.
And how much are they going to charge for that?
A lot.
I don't know.
Yeah, but they sold the band, like technically. So are they getting the money? Like still,
Yeah, I don't think they sold like 100%. I think they still have some kind of interest from what I heard. But I kind of think that was done to make it easier for these guys to do what they needed to do. Because I think the plan is this is either going to get a big residency somewhere or it's going to tour or maybe both. I think it's going to be terrible, but I do know that like what we saw on the final show was basically like an alpha version, not even a beta. And when I saw those figures, I was like, "Oh my god, that looks like PlayStation 1 graphics."
No.
So they obviously got a lot of backlash about that. So I'm hoping they get it right, but I don't really know how this is gonna work.
I've kind of questioned that because there's been other people saying I think it's a great idea. I think we're going to do something like that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, let's see how this works
I hope
first.
it fails miserably just so that other bands don't follow suit.
You have a point.
Like that could turn into the future of music, and I don't want that.
God, I hope not.
No, and wouldn't that be the shit? They're charging $300 for a fuck no. Wow, no.
I thought for sure during COVID it didn't happen, but I thought we were gonna get to the point where bands were like zooming into venues that were all separated.
Yeah.
Like I remember during COVID, I saw Sammy Hagar in downtown Orlando, and they set up like these cages that like 4 people that all bought tickets together could be in like these cages.
I've seen that.
They were like 5 feet away from each other. It felt like, I don't know, it felt like we were being herded like cattle. Like it was very normally I don't get bothered by anything, you know what I mean? But like that, I was just kind of like, I feel a little weirded out right now. Like there's some brainwashing bullshit going on here.
Yeah, and what do they do if you get out of your cage and shit? You know, it's like, no.
Well, we found out one of the guys.
We found out.
One of the guys that I went with was like, what are they going to do if I just get out of here? I'm like, I don't know, find out.
Yeah.
So we jumped out of the thing, and they had like the security in these little orange vests, and they like just came on him. I don't even know where they came from. It was like 10 of them, and they were chasing him up and down the aisle and threatening. It was a thing. But and then once he did that, then other people started doing it, and there was a moment of chaos there where everybody was out of their cages, and the security's yelling at you to get back in your fucking cage. I'm like, this is bullshit. What is going on?
You've got to have a place to like go take a piss or something. Was there?
You were able to do that.
Okay.
But you couldn't leave your cage and just stand outside of it. You had to be actively walking in this direction, or they just jumped on you.
Sanitizer.
Yeah.
Decontamination. Holy shit. Where did we come from? God, thinking back to 2020.
That was wild. I kind of, in a sick fucking way, I kind of miss it though. Like it was great. You could go on vacations and there'd be fucking nobody there. Like,
yeah,
I was going to Disney and shit and just walking on all the rides. I'm like, this is fucking great. We need more of this.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. So tell us where to get everything Dark Remedy.
Well, you just did.
But we got Instagram, Facebook,
Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. We're on all that shit. Just type in Dark Remedy Band, and we're the only one that exists, so we'll pop up.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So and join the group. Join the Facebook group.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Join the asylum and say hi to grandma.
Yeah, gotta say hi to grandma. Get grandma to tell you some stories.
Yeah, oh shit. Oh man,
those are fabulous. What other great stories do you have? Because I like this. This is
I do too.
Yeah, we'd be here all fucking night.
Looks like we got time. The next band hadn't showed up, so.
Uh-oh. They're stiffing you, and I'm pulling double duty.
Right.
I don't think I signed up for this one.
He said stiffen and double duty. I don't know.
Stiffen. Yeah, there you go. Unintended.
All right.
Oh, you lucked out. You don't have to pull double duty.